Blessed love, welcome. How you doing? Wagwan, Tenestelin. Welcome to episode 10 of Ah Reason with me, Sinai Fleury, and as usual, I'm joined by the Heights one, Mr. Asha Heights, my wonderful co-host. Asha, say something to the people.
Upful, blazing. Greetings, family. Yes, one more episode, Ah Reason, blazing.
Yeah, man. So we're on episode 10. And it's going really well. We've got so much to discuss in this episode. It's jam-packed. But before we go into that, I want to give everybody a shout out who's been sharing episode 9 and people who've been tuning into episode 9 and giving us feedback. Thank you very much. If you want to get in touch with us at I Reason, don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Just search I Reason Podast and you'll find us there. Don't forget you can catch all the past episodes if you've missed any and you're just kind of joining us. Yeah, where have you been a long time we are doing this. Well, not a long time, but 9 episodes. Yes, yeah, you can catch up on all our past episodes of me and Asha discussing so many issues. Everything is on YouTube and everything is also on now
iTunes. Yes, people, you can check out all 9 episodes on iTunes, go on, subscribe, make sure you check it out and tell a friend, family members, get everyone involved. Yeah, subscribe. See, on iTunes, people, check it out.
Yep, so as usual, we are on YouTube, we are on iTunes, you can hit us up on social media, and also we are on the Colourful Radio website.
Please.
So go to www.colourfulradio.com and search I Reason Podcast and you will see our podcast links there. So
Well.
Episode 10.
But before we jump in, Empress, I'm sure you have something to tell the people them who are going, because I hear some good news somewhere there. I mean, I see the IG and the
what do you mean?
Facebook.
You've been a pre my IG.
No, I'm a pre, but you don't know when time good news are flow. The vibes flew and the word spread, so it's like you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm on see a local vibe and I'm on hear a local vibe. I'm check a local vibe out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yeah, true.
Okay.
So more, tell the people them want to go on.
Oh, okay. So for like the last couple of weeks or so, I've been working on some journalism work, and I pitched a few articles to some mainstream publications, and my work was accepted and published in the Huffington Post UK. So I'm like really excited about that. So I've written 2 special pieces for the Huffington Post for Black History Month. The first one was about dreadlocks and the significance of wearing your hair in dreadlocks for the Rastafarian community and how it's more than a hairstyle for us. So you can check that out on the Huffington Post. And also recently I wrote an article regarding Black history in the curriculum, and that's sort of going to tie us into our first topic today as well. It was just sort of like an analysis of whether or not I think Black history being taught in schools is a good or bad thing. I sort of weighed up the pros and cons, and then I looked at it's a good thing because everybody can learn about us, but then it's a bad thing if all you're teaching it is black people were slaves, black people were slaves, black people were slaves, black people were slaves, and if you're not looking at other areas of our history, if you're not looking at pre-Europeans in Africa, if you're starting, okay, Europeans came to Africa, we captured some slaves, if you're starting from there, what happened before? Our children need to know what happened before. Who were we before? What were we doing? How did we live? That's important as well. 100%. So it was just like sort of like a way up, and then also like analysing how they teach Black history in the UK is often just very much, okay, there was Rosa Parks, there was the civil rights movement in America, there was Nelson Mandela, and that's it. And they kind of exclude themselves out of the narrative.
Yes,
and so I talked about that in the article, like how often they exclude things like the Notting Hill riots, the Brixton riots, the Stephen Lawrence inquiry, the birth of Choice FM, the Black Panther Party UK, which was based here in London as well. They exclude all of those issues, or the Bristol bus boycott that they had when they were refusing to employ West Indian bus drivers
13 did not
at one
said.
point. Yeah, and the New Cross fire. There's so much Black British history that our children don't get taught about. We get taught about Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Movement, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is part of our history, but there's stuff that happened right here on our doorstep that is almost being erased from our children's memories. Like to say Britain has always been diverse and accepting. No, it wasn't always like that. You know, it wasn't always like that. There is a long history of racism, of discrimination, of struggle, of overcoming, and of struggle again.
And
still overcoming
Yes,
in this country. And it shouldn't, I wasn't writing about it in the article to shame anybody. It's facts, it's the truth. And I feel like if these things have happened, you can't change the past. So why pretend that this part doesn't exist and Black history is only to talk about Africa and the USA, and it's not to talk about Britain?
Everywhere Black people is.
So if you want to read the article, it's up on Huffington Post. Just type it in and they've got a whole Black history section on the Huffington Post, and you'll see my articles up there. You can have a read and give us feedback. It's all good. You can email us at INI-reason@gmail.com.
Yes, people. Remember, people, check it out. Yes, may I say, it's something to go and read. You need to read it, you know. Go and check it out, people.
So, yeah, that's enough rambling from me. How are you anyway? What have you been up to?
I have been up to, you know, writing, preparing myself, getting fit, you know, enough running, enough football, you know, staying
top baller.
Stay in shape, you know, make sure I say, you know, I'm breathing exercises and everything there, and practice the singing and the writing skills, get them up to par, and you see me, I say just stay in shape and being sharp, basically. You understand? Because enough things will go on, enough work to get put in. And when time forward, we have to ready for the time. You get me answer? So yeah, we stay sharp, stay fit, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And just go and give your praise and go and live. You get me answer?
Of course. So Asha, before we go on to our next topics, could you give everybody the phone number that you kind of hooked up and ting for us to get some voice notes and stuff for people sent over to us?
All right, people. This is how it goes, yeah? To everyone out there, all the family listening worldwide, yeah. The item want to send INI a message and thing or a request or whatever, this is the number. +44 75 76 677 477. Again, area code +44, yeah? 75 76 677 477. And remember, people, it's no ringing thing. It's only a WhatsApp thing, see?
And no chain letters. No, send this on to 10 friends and you will be blessed forever. None of them kind of messages. Or send this chain letter to 5 friends, including me.
Yeah.
You know, if I get one back.
You know what I mean? Yeah, them one then not gonna work. So just add the number in the WhatsApp vibes and just link kind of if you want a request, if you want to talk about a certain topic. You understand? If you want us show that and us, and I mean show love, show support, just keep it nice and simple and blessed. You understand? Yes, sir.
Right. So first topic we're going to be talking about, I mentioned it briefly, was racism and Black history and stuff like that. Black history on the curriculum in schools. And it's funny because over the last week or so, there's been a lot of discussion online about this sociology school book that's now been removed out of circulation. It's a GCSE textbook that claimed Caribbean men are largely absent from families, and it was withdrawn after outrage on social media.
Right, so
I want to big up my good friend Nadine White, who was the first journalist to sort of uncover this story. She works for Huffington Post, so big up Nadine for uncovering these kind of important issues that probably would have gone swept under the carpet if we don't have people like ourselves in those positions. Now, the textbook says fathers and husbands of Caribbean descent in Caribbean families are largely absent. It also had many other issues in this book that highlighted things about working class children, how their attitudes and they don't value education. There was comments in there about Chinese families. There was comments in there about African families. And it was all pretty negative and outdated. Now, people took to social media to say that this book should be withdrawn, and they branded it racist in its description of Caribbean families. What we do understand now is that the publishers have withdrawn the book and saying they're going to reissue it and they're looking into it. Now, from my research and understanding, this book was first published in 2014, which was 4 years ago. So 4 years ago, I'm trying to think how people were thinking 4 years ago. You still thought that was okay to print in a book that Caribbean men are largely absent from families. Like, that's a generalization.
Yes, sir.
You still thought it was okay to put it in a textbook that was going to be taught to GCSE children. There you go. You know, so and the fact that it was approved as well by Education Board, they checked the book to say,
okay,
you know,
I think that
it's fit for educational purposes or to be used in a school.
Slipping.
This one, I'm a bit hurt by it.
Slipping.
Not just a bit, because I'm like, it's a generalization, one. Two, it might not be true of all Caribbean dads, and they've just painted this negative picture. But also, it makes me question how many other textbooks are there floating around in our schools that have similar descriptions of INI and stereotypes in these books. Do you know what I mean? And it took me back to my days at college. Now, I've still got my sociology. I did sociology at A-level. I've still got my sociology textbook that we used when I was doing A-levels all those years ago. And I haven't had a chance yet, but I'm going to go through it like over the next coming weeks and see if I see any negative. Because, you know, at 16, 17, I mean, that's A-level age. You might not pick up on things, whereas now as an adult, you'll be like, hold on a minute, this is a generalization. So I'm going to go through my book. I've still got it because, you know me now I throw nothing away. I'm going to go through it and see what was in there. But it makes me question how many other books are out there like that. And it brings me on to this thing that I saw on Facebook. Now, a lot of parents are now deciding they want to homeschool their children, especially in the black community, because they feel like the schools are not catering to our children's needs. And I saw on this homeschooling forum some resources that they were using to teach their children about families and stuff. And they had a picture, a paper, and it had 4 families on there. There was a Chinese family, had mom, dad, 2 children. They had a white family, mom, dad, 3 children. Then it had an Asian family, and it had mom, dad, grandma, granddad, and 1 or 2 children. Then they had a black family, a picture of a black family as well, and it had 2 children and grandma. There was no mum, there was no dad in the picture, and this was like the typical families that they had. And I looked at this and I thought, who on earth thought this was okay? Who signed this off as okay for people to use as a teaching resource? It's a generalization. The black children didn't have a mum and didn't have a dad. They were living with grandma. And I was thinking, so what is this telling our children, that we don't love them for them to be with us? They have to go and stay with grandma? Who is approving this rubbish that is being used to teach our children?
It's a lie. It's a lie disguised as the truth. In a aim to discredit and disrespect the black family. Simple like that. It's a big lie, because if them go around and check the statistics of black families, that will be proven wrong. Not every black children is raised with grandparents. That's rubbish. You see what I say? You have enough man, woman, and children, black families living together.
Units,
right now.
yeah.
You understand? So them things they need to get change up and need to get rearranged. And it's like them want to single out INI and always point the finger at INI You see me I say, and it's like, if I don't stand up and see them thing here and raise it up and defend it, these things will be carry on, and the youth will grow up and think it's truth when it's really lies.
I was just thinking, what kind of effect is that having on these young minds that are opening it up? Oh, look, they're excited. Look, that's my family. Look, their friends are probably saying, that looks like my family. And then you've got a picture of a race that looks like you, but there's just grandma and the children. Are you going to be proud to say, look, that looks like my family?
No, it's going to build inferiority. You know what I mean?
Complexes,
It's going to be like, it's not, you're not going to make it proud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to make it proud. Now I'm going to make it feel like, celebrating. Like, it'll make you ask certain questions and feel pitiful and, you know what I mean?
You know what I think they need to do? I think there needs to be a audit for, I think there was actually a petition going around for an audit for all books to be checked, that they don't have any racial stereotypes or any racial biases in them, especially when it comes to topics like sociology or history. I mean, maths can't really be biased because 1 + 1 is 2, no matter how you look at it. Do you know what I mean? Not unless they're going to start using silly examples. If you get one black man and you add another black man, like if they start doing stupidness like that, which I don't think they'll be bold enough to do. But I think especially when it comes to things like sociology and history and even geography to a certain extent, these things need to be analysed, because I'm noticing as well when it comes to geography, and especially with children in the UK, when they bring their home, like for example, when I see children bring their homework home and they're learning about the world, and it's the world they're learning about. They're learning about China, Great Britain, Australia, America, and maybe France.
And that's the world right there.
And
people.
they would say, about answer these questions about the world. And I'm thinking,
that's the world right there, people.
Who said this is the world?
Yeah, that's the world.
But then when you look at the population statistics, don't black and brown people make up most of the world? So why are we not included in the world?
There we go.
Do you know what I mean? Or if they do have a representation for Africa, it will be like, this is Egypt. Like, what about the rest? Or South Africa? It's just I don't like how they just exclude Africa and the Caribbean out of things. You know what I mean?
The question is, do you think it's by accident?
No, I think the textbooks, I think textbooks are outdated. 2, I think a lot of the teachers in schools might have opinions that are not necessarily fair when it comes to, they're already coming in with an idea of black children, a lot of these teachers. Do you know what I mean? They're already coming in with
Fixed.
Yeah, and it's like they're not open to change. They're not open to seeing, okay, a little black boy who is highly intelligent. They're coming in with, he's going to be trouble. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying all teachers, we have some brilliant teachers out there, but there are some that need to be addressed on their way of thinking. But I think textbooks are outdated. I think teachers, not all, some need some sort, if you don't have a understanding and a willingness to be fair, you shouldn't be teaching in a multiracial school.
True.
And I feel like the resources and the way our children are taught, it could be vamped up a bit, man.
Update.
Yeah, like, you know, liven it up a bit, man. Like Bob say, lively up yourself. It's all too outdated.
Well, like about every 5 years or every 7 years, it should get rearranged and shaken up.
Yeah. So, I mean, let us know what you think. I mean, do you think this textbook was right or was it wrong? Or are you happy that it's been removed from circulation? Let us know if you've had any experiences of racial stereotyping while you was at school, or are your children going through anything like that at the moment. You can hit us up on email at INI-a-reason@gmail.com. That's INI-a-reason@gmail.com, and we can read out some of your comments on our next issue. If you want to remain anonymous, you can also do that. Also, before I move on to the next topic, I want to send our deepest prayers and love and all the kind of good vibes we can send right now to our Caribbean brothers and sisters and our neighbours in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes,
who have experienced severe flooding over the last couple of days. And I'm seeing on social media, it looks like a disaster. You know, I've seen like flood waters, people being rescued. I mean, the good thing is I'm seeing neighbours helping each other. I saw a video today with a crocodile trying to go into somebody's house. Luckily enough, there was a gate there, so it's not looking very good at the moment in Trinidad and Tobago. But hopefully soon, the flood water will, reduce and people can sort of get back to normal. I don't know if there's been any loss of life. I haven't been updated on that yet, but I do know that the musicians and celebrities who are from Trinidad and Tobago are trying to rally together to try and put on a benefit concert to raise some funds and get some supplies out to their people them.
Upful move.
Yes, so big up, is it Bunji Garlin? Bunji Garlin and Nicki Minaj. I understand they are forming some sort of alliance to give back to their people.
And all the Trinidadian people abroad who have family and friends, a time for reach it and hear what are going, stay in touch, you know what I mean? Every day counts, you see me? Don't take nothing for granted, ring up and find out what are going. You don't know, I send on the things them see me, because people, in the time like these, I man know my hurricane and them thing they can bring, and even the simplest thing become worthwhile at them time, you get me I say? So get in touch and send on. Yeah man, show love right now, you see it?
They've had some really rough weather in the Caribbean recently. I understand there wasn't not an earthquake, but like a tremor in Jamaica yesterday, and then I know Trinidad had 2 earthquakes or tremors right after the floods as well. So it's still hurricane season, isn't it?
September is normally hurricane season, yes. So it's like from ending of August, September to the beginning of October them time, you get me I say? But prayers are go out and you don't know. Hoping for the best, basically. You see me I say, because we can't control weather and we can't control these things, so I have to just pray and hope for the best and stay safe. You see me I say?
Yeah,
yes,
man. So we'll give you an update on our next issue as to what's happening in TNT, but all you have to do is a Google search. I don't think they're talking about it much on the TV, but please use the internet as your resource, because it's a great way to sort of find out what's happening in other parts of the world.
Yes, I.
Yeah, man. So let's move on to our next topic. Someone messaged me and said, look, can you and Asha talk about the rise in veganism? And I was like, Rasta don't deal with no ism and schism, but the rise in veganism, or the rise of vegan people in the UK.
There is a rise though.
There's definitely a rise.
Big rise.
They're vegan and plant-based.
Plant-based. Yes. Yeah.
I'm plant-based.
Whoa, this newfound thing, huh?
No, I think it's definitely good. I mean, I'm laughing, but anything that is gonna improve the health of people, I will support. Whether it is you're cutting out meat and dairy, or if you're fasting, or you're a fruitarian, because is it fruitarian? I don't know if I'm saying it right. People who only eat fruits. There's raw food people who only eat food raw.
Yes, sir.
Anything that's going to improve your health, I'm all for it. But the rise in vegans, I think it's partly to do with social media as well, because there's a lot of vegans online, and I think they have a lot of influence. But also I think people are a bit scared to eat meat now, because they've heard so many stories, all them videos that you see circulating on WhatsApp that them old ladies send you. Look pan this, oh what this, look they're trying to kill we, look what they're feeding we, plastic rice, you know all them videos as well, plastic chicken and all this. So I think people are a lot more health conscious, and the access to information is just on your phone. If you want to find out, are these things real? Are these things, what's healthy for you? It's just on your phone now. It's not, you got to wait for a big report to come out, a study of 2,000 people or 10,000 people to be published in the news or published in the newspaper. Everything's on your phone.
Yeah, the choice is yours, really, So it's like, if you choose for still I eat rubbish and still I buy rubbish and still I consume all them, you know, iron fat, iron this and iron where, and you can know and see like there I say, they on your phone, they on your laptop, they on your computer, all these things, you just type it in and see it. You see it on the news every day, you have family members who are died from all these things. So you must know about your time for do the right thing. You see me I say, so I shout out to all the vegans, all the plant-based, all the Italists.
Ital is vital.
I say vitalist.
Listen, now you said that. A big up Maccabee. Yeah, his
Medical Mondays.
Yeah, I love his videos on Instagram.
Big shout out, yeah man, give thanks Maccabee.
Original Italist.
Upful move.
Yeah.
You see me I say, so all the ones them out there we are eat upful, and now eat no bloody and no bony and no. Bag of pussy and I mean bag of bloody and bony.
Bloody and bony.
Yeah, bloody and bony and pussy vibes, you get me I say? It's me I David. All the ones that we are keep it upful and keep it ital and love yourself enough to eat the right thing and respect yourself enough to eat the right thing and treat it good like the temple it is. When you say the most side dwell within the temple and keep it holy and keep it clean. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the item and much love. You see me I say keep it up. Yeah man, keep it up man.
I got some facts here. Well, I'm gonna do the boring bit. Asha will bun the fire and I will do the boring journalist side. Well, it's not really boring, but the research.
Man, sure,
so according to a 2016 report by the Vegan Society, there are 550,000 vegans in Great Britain. So this is of 2016. I think it might have gone up by now because it's like, you know, really on trend. And that is an increase of 150,000 people from since 2006. So in the space of 10 years, there's been 150,000 more vegans.
Wow.
I mean, bear in mind this information is 2 years old, so it might be more.
Yes, sir.
I think it's interesting. I like the idea that people are taking their health more seriously. Like I said, whether it's eating healthily or working out. I'm seeing a lot more people deciding, no, I'm going to work out. I'm going to join the gym. Not just join the gym, but I'm going to jog. I'm going to exercise. That is really good. Or I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to stretch. I'm going to do yoga. All of that is good. And I would think, especially because we live such fast-paced lives now, man.
And such a polluted place as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good thing. And I like, do you know what I do like? I like when I go shopping now. There's so much choice. Whereas, because I've been vegan all my life, it's like...
Blazing.
No, I'm not bragging. I'm just talking.
Yeah. I think we got the vibes.
Yeah, because I know you used to... You know,
yes, sir,
yam a few things them back in the day, but we're not going there. This was before you became Asha Heights. This was back in the day. We'll leave that alone. I like that there's more choice now.
Yes, sir.
Because I remember going shopping with my mum like years ago, and you couldn't find almond milk, you couldn't find cashew milk, you couldn't find oat milk, hazelnut milk, coconut milk. It was just soya. That was the only non-dairy milk that was available. And I do love the idea that there's so much more choice now. And it's not just with the milks, it's if you want ice cream, you're not excluded. You can go
want cheese.
If you want cheese to make macaroni cheese or lasagna or whatever it is, there is vegan cheese.
Yogurt,
there's and it's great as well if you're raising vegan children. Like what I've noticed with my children is they don't feel left out. Yes, like they don't feel like, mum, I can't have chocolate. Or just the other day recently I learned how to make a vegan chocolate cake, because I was I was there thinking like, oh, how am I gonna, like, it's chocolate, it must have milk in it. No, but then I realized cocoa, it's vegan,
the real deal.
Yeah, and you just add your milk or whatever it is, and then you can make a chocolate cake. So it's great because there's so much choice, and like I said, children don't miss out. They can have treats, they can have ice cream, they can have custard. There's dairy-free custard now, and I feel like it's so much better. because
Yes,
there's
sir.
so much more choice. You can
Yes,
just
sir.
go in the supermarket, get everything you want. Whereas before, you're going to the supermarket, oh, they don't have anything. You got to go to a specialist shop down the road. Or you got to
Farmers
take,
market.
you got to take a bus and go. Oh, this is the only place that sells it. So I think it's great in that sense, and it's become more affordable because the supermarkets now have their section where it's free from. You can go in and get a dairy-free milk for £1 or less. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, it was like there's only one type, so you have to pay £3 a carton for it back in the day. So that's good as well. But
yeah, but we still have to chew a quick fire upon the price though, because the price still outrageous when you compare it towards like a bottle of milk, normal cow's milk.
yeah, that's true.
You see what I say?
Yeah,
The price of a almond milk or a coconut milk is
£1.
like £1.50
Yeah.
or £1.80 or sometimes £2
yeah.
compared to like a bottle of milk costs so much.
Me not drink them.
But
You're asking the wrong person. Next time I go shopping, I will actually look and
probably 80 pence or a
Yeah.
pound, or I don't know, but them cheaper, way cheaper. You see, man, so it's like,
Yeah.
you know, even fruits, you know what I mean, compared to like sweets and compared even like
yeah,
meats compared to like vegetables.
yeah,
The price has some big different price. You know, so it's like them still a push you, because you have 99 chicken and chips compared to like if you buy some fruit and some veg
salad, yeah,
and things for cook
or like
something.
a falafel wrap is like
Isn't
£4.
it? Yeah, so it's like
and then chicken and chips is
yeah,
£1.99.
£1.99 a £1 deal. So it's like
£1 deal.
yeah.
Oh, what's in that?
Man, them plastic chicken there and plastic rice and plastic something there, you know, can you see it?
Oh my god.
Them people are going to them work overtime. But
Yeah,
tell you, certain
yeah.
things we think can make plastic. Try and see what going on.
Yeah.
And people
What
not
I
wrong.
would like to say though is I'm glad everybody's jumped on the vegan train and the Ital train.
Yes, I.
But please do not forget who has been doing it for the longest time. Now it's great that everybody wants to be more health conscious, but what irritates me is somebody who's been vegan for 2 months and they want to come and tell you, as somebody who's been vegan for 30 odd years, about being a vegan. I find it I'm not saying we can't learn from each other. We can. What they've learned in the last 2 months, I might have not learned in the last 30 years. But there's a certain type of new vegan that really irritates me, and it's the ones that think they know everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, just stop. Don't come in my DMs and send me a picture of a plate of kale and some hemp seeds and tell me that's what I should be eating for dinner. Do you know what I mean? Don't. No, don't. Do you know what I mean? I'm willing to learn, but it's like, it's a bit patronizing. Do you know what I mean? But I want to give a shout out to all the Italists who have been trodding this vegan Ital, meat-free, what's that should say? Bloody free.
Yeah, man, bone free.
Bone free.
Nah,
Pus free for the longest while. And people used to think, this is the joke thing, people used to think they were crazy.
Yeah.
I remember people used to cuss like the older generation.
I asked them where they get them protein from.
Yeah, and tell them like, you are got dead. You not eat meat. You are got dead. And you're thinking, huh? Like, they got a lot of stick back in the day. You know, I know a lot of Rastas, the elder Rastas, like who are now in their 60s, 70s, 50s, they got a lot of stick from their family for becoming Rasta and saying that, okay, I'm cutting out meat, I'm cutting out fish. They got a lot of stick and went through a lot.
A true word, man.
And now everyone's on this vegan train. It's like everyone forgot, say, these...
Foundation.
Yeah, they forgot that they've been doing it long time. And a lot of these youngsters who are now on the plant-based and vegan, I know you had one uncle or auntie back in the day who were telling you to allow the meat, and you said,
Long time.
Uncle Leroy, you're just talking rubbish. Do you know what I mean? You need to go back and ask Uncle Leroy for some of them Ital recipes now.
True.
You know what I mean? But yeah, boy, that's the vegan thing.
And yeah, you see, touching on the vegan vibes now, quickly, because it's true, been in the vegan vibe and been in the Italist vibe for a while now, for a minute. You know what I mean? I'm on
He said for a minute, you know.
Yeah, for a minute, because I don't know. Yeah, I feel.
No, years. You've been in it for years.
But not all my life.
Over a decade.
Yeah, over a decade. So I say,
yeah, can we have a round of applause for Asher Heights, please?
Give thanks, you know, give thanks. But I said, I know, you have some vegan people where it's like, them true to the thing. At the yard, on road, when them go to events, straight vegan. You understand? But you have some vegan people who are only vegan when them go out to events and go out a road and them can buy the vegan food and buy the vegan whatever. You understand? And eat it right there and then. But when them go to them yard now, so them can't cook.
Oh, the vegan way.
Yeah, and can't cook, prepare the meal away there, so it's like anything goes at home. And some of them reverse it now where out the road them eat whatever, but then go home, them eat vegan. So I say you have to eat vegan at home and out the road, see me and keep it balanced. It don't make no sense you have to eat vegan, yeah, so and when you go home at some different thing.
Yeah, because it's like you're kind of doing a bit of both. And I think you don't really get the full benefits then if you're going to be vegan, but then you're going to eat a bit of meat. You need to cleanse your whole body and do it.
Take your time and learn properly and do it the right way. Get my answer?
That's what I was going to say as well. I don't think it should be something that people
jump into
because it's a craze now. It's like, oh, everyone's vegan, everyone's plant-based. I need to do it. You know, if it's something you want to do, take your time. Have a meat-free Monday or something. Try and cut it down one day a week or twice, or swap all your breakfasts for vegan breakfast. Go slowly. Don't let anybody pressure you into it, because I feel like if you jump into it and you're rushing, then you're going to feel like, okay, I can survive on kale and hemp seeds, and that's not the case. Do you know what I mean? You need to find out what you like, experiment with recipes, and there's plenty of resources out there. Go to vegan restaurants as well, and see different meals that they make. Do you know what I mean? And get ideas.
My advice is the first thing though is to, what you find that you love and you like a taste for, learn to make that at home. You understand? The things them where you like, the food them where you like, the meal them where you like, learn to make the meal at home before you can say, yeah, I'm a straight vegan, I'm a straight way. Once you know say the food where you love and the vegan food that you can prepare at home, you're good to go. Yes, sir.
Yeah, true. Yeah. True. So let us know what you think about the rise in veganism, or the rise in vegan people, should I say, by hitting us up on social media. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at INI Reason, and use the hashtag INI Podcast. Let us know and we will read out your comments on the next issue. All right, we're on to reggae news now.
Yes, sir. Music time.
Yes, so much has been going on. I'm trying to keep up with all these reggae and dancehall artists, man.
Yes, sir. Busy.
All right, let me just get right into it. So, firstly, our Buju Banton countdown clock.
Yes, Rasta.
Driver.
Don't stop at all. Guys, down at Alabama.
Driver.
Don't even itch. You know what I mean? Please.
Yeah. So, Buju Banton countdown clock on bujubanton.com says Buju has 1 month, 2 weeks, and 2 days to go until his release. Hashtag Buju returns on social media to interact with that. So that's 1 month, 2 weeks and 2 days until Buju is released on the 8th of December.
No, the great of December. Don't get it twisted.
The great of December. That's Asher's birthday, people.
That's my Earth Strong people. The great of December. So you don't know. Love.
Buju soon forward.
Yeah, great present, huh?
All right, and also we got to say congratulations to the king of the dancehall. Am I gonna get cussed for that? But I don't care. The king of the dancehall, Beenie Man. Yeah, he has welcomed a baby girl with his partner Crystal Tomlinson. So they welcomed a beautiful baby girl in the last week or so. Congratulations, Beenie Man, and your missus on the birth of your beautiful baby girl. Also in reggae music news, Macca B, we just mentioned him.
Yes, Rasta.
Medical Mondays.
Yeah.
Health is wealth. Ital is vital. Yeah, Macca B is currently on tour in the UK, so please check out Macca B on social media for all the tour dates. Also want to big up the young general Chronixx.
Please.
He has officially sold out Alexandria Palace. My tickets arrived yesterday actually.
Yeah,
So me got my tickets there, me ready, me just have to find me dress and shoes and the hat and everything.
Skanking, you know what I mean? You gotta be skanking, you know?
Yeah, so I do believe all online tickets have now sold out, but please check your local record shops to see if they have any left. Yeah, and that's on the 11th of November. What else is happening? Oh, Shaggy, Mr. Bombastic, Telefantastic, Mr. Roll, oh Carolina. All right, sorry, I'm doing some bad impressions. Shaggy turned 50. Congratulations to Shaggy.
Half a century.
Yeah, Shaggy turned 50 on the 22nd of October. So happy birthday, Shaggy.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, he was
More
born
life
in
and blessings, man.
1968. And his real name is Orville Richard Burrell. So Shaggy is now 50. That kind of makes me feel old.
Well, you don't know life, you know, so you think keep on going and never stop.
Yeah. I mean, he looks young, so.
The greatest thing is that, you know, him live a life where him can say him live a life.
True.
Him live, you know.
Yeah.
The greatest thing in life is to live. And don't while you living, give thanks.
Of course. And I mean, he's done so much for dancehall and Jamaica as well.
And also, the next good thing I will him give forward. So
yeah, he is a giver.
Him live a good life, giving thanks, being grateful, and give back.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Give thanks. Shout
Big
out.
up Shaggy, happy birthday. Also, who celebrated a birthday? Chronixx. Chronixx also celebrated a birthday in October, so happy birthday, Chronixx. Also,
shout out.
Beres Hammond. So we've got two pieces of Beres Hammond. I'm saying Budgie Banton, and I'm thinking Budgie Banton.
I chew him so far that I jail, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Beres Hammond. So there's two bits of news. First, the good news. He released his new album on the 12th of October, and it debuted at number 1 in the UK and the USA and in Japan. So yeah, his new album Never Ending is out now, so make sure you get it. I will be getting it and we can discuss it in a future episode. But also some sad news for Beres Hammond. We understand he's mourning at the moment after his brother Boyo Hammond passed away from cancer. So we understand that it's a sad time for him at the moment. So deepest condolences to Beres Hammond and his family at this time.
You know, prayers and I give thanks.
Yeah, and last reggae news, dancehall news, is Mavado, the Gully God.
Oh, I go on the gully.
Well, he's causing some controversy on his IG.
I don't know where to go.
Yeah, so he posted a picture on, I think it was Sunday, so that was yesterday. So he posted a picture of himself depicted as Jesus. So he's standing somewhere and he's got like a halo. Yeah. He's wearing a white cloak. He's got like a red scarf, and he's surrounded by people playing trumpets. White, they look angels playing trumpets. And I clicked like on the picture, and then something told me go and look at the comments. So me fast. So I went and looked in the comments, and it was like, this is blasphemy. Me not like you no more. Me not rate you no more. You are not God. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is a big controversy. And I was like, oh no, like, is this right? Is this wrong? Is it art? Is it blasphemy? Like, I didn't know what to make of it. And a lot of people were saying it's only because he's posted himself almost looking like Jesus that people are upset. And they were saying it's because Mavado is black. If he posted a white man looking like Jesus, there wouldn't be this big uproar. And I was thinking, is it a race issue? Are people upset because he's a black man posing as Jesus? And I remember back in the day when they had that comedy sketch in America, I think it was called Black Jesus, and they had a black man playing Jesus in a comedy, and he was wearing the white cloak and everything. People were doing the same. They were like, this show is blasphemy, it should be taken off. And I was like, it's black people as well. So I didn't understand, because I always believe what I believe, that there is a black God, and I believe in His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie. So I didn't find anything wrong with Mavado's picture, but I'm seeing a lot of Christian people, black Christians, have an issue with it. So I wanted to get your take as a Jamaican, and as a fan? Like, what do you think? Is it just art or...
All right, keep it quick and simple.
But before I ask you that, I didn't want to be like just dismissing it, because I remember when Nas, the hip hop artist, dressed up as His Majesty for Halloween, and I found that disrespectful. I didn't like that. I found that as blasphemic, because Haile Selassie as my God, my Jah, and you're dressing up as I found that disrespectful. So I didn't want to be one-sided.
All right.
But what did you make? What do you make of it? We can talk about it again on the next issue if we run out of time.
That me I gotta say, cause you see my answer to that vibes, yeah. I need to go listen to the song, because apparently it's a picture for a song.
Okay.
So I need to go and listen to the song first, and then we can give you an honest feed forward.
Yeah.
And where I man feel, where I come from, and where it a depict and the whole vibes. See?
We do love Mavado. Mavado is a very intelligent man, and we do, he's always coming with that positive message in his music. So I don't think he meant any harm by it at all.
Let's see what I want. I give thanks. Yeah, man. I man say don't know Gully straight up. I give thanks.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Mavado.
Have the full truth. See me I say?
Yeah, before we comment.
Before we say anything.
Yeah. So on the next episode, it will be episode 11. We will be discussing Mavado's picture.
Yes,
give thanks for listening to I and I Reason episode 10 with me, Sinai Flary, and my co-host, Mr. Asher Today.
Breezing, upful, cupful.
Soon forward.
Yeah.
Rastafari.
Aye.